Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, welcome back to Train Sim World, and welcome back to the West Somerset Railway DLC. So there's one scenario left. It's some yard work at the end of the day, and the one before this, we're going to be doing this scenario in the Class 09, and the scenario before this was just driving from one end of the service to the other in the Class 47. It wasn't super interesting, so I thought we'd do this. Now, do we have... Yep, we have our flashlight too, which I think is relatively new in this game. Set the main light switch to on. I can do that. Climb down and switch the marker lights on. You got it. Right there. And it is, I have to say, a little bit jerky, but that's my fault. I'm really not used to using mouse and keyboard. So hopefully we won't be doing a ton of walking around. All right. Unlock the junctions. But which ones? Let's turn that back on just momentarily. Set the track ready for departure. Can do that. It says this scenario is 45 minutes, which means it's closer to an hour, at least the way I play. So we're going to go about 30 minutes, and then we'll call it. And actually, moment. My cough is better. I no longer have whatever it was that I had, but occasionally I do still get a little bit of a dry throat. So once we get rolling, I'm going to have a sip of my tea. All right. Back there. So turn that off. Don't need that now. And I'm guessing we're going to pull out and back up and hook up to that locomotive and consist right there, those passenger cars. There was another scenario we did where I was having a hard time getting the cars coupled, and I went back and retried it, and I was able to get everything coupled. And I never did figure out if it was something I was doing wrong the first time, and then the second time it worked out okay, or if the game was momentarily bugged out. This is a pretty stable game. I have no problems with it. Set the reverser to forward and sound the horn. Can you do that? Right. Head out beyond the junctions, then shunt back into the station platform. You got it. Brakes off. Climb aboard, set the brakes to release and increase the throttle. I can do that. Where are we going? Oh, there we're going. Okay, 108 yards. Oh, that's nice with the sunset. It's a good looking game. I think it is. Been nothing but pleased with Train Sim World, other than before they put the first patch out where it was just super, super slow. But other than that, been really pleased with this game. It's very relaxing. And I seem to remember fighting with this last time. When it says stop at a certain place, it wants you to stop at exactly that place. And we did not, so you'll need to back up. Reverser to reverse, brakes off. There we go. Not going to give it to me? Nope. Okay. There it is. Right. Climb down and reset the track. And I'm thinking that has to be the one behind us. So that would be the one here. Yep. Contact the signal box. Right. I'm gonna have to do that from in the train, I guess. Because it won't let me do it right here. What the? There it is. Walked right past my own door. Right in here. Like so. Have a seat. Contact the signal box. Request to pass signal at danger. Proceed at restricted speed. So turn that off. Hop back out here. Now we'll hop back out here. Brakes off. A little bit of throttle. There we go. So yeah, I'm used to the American style where you just basically bump the trains into each other at 3 or 4 miles per hour and the couplers sort of take over. Now they don't do everything obviously automatically. You need to get out and do hoses and so forth. But in this sim with the British and European style, you do need to sometimes deploy. Sometimes you can just bump, but sometimes you need to deploy a different type of coupler. I think that's what I wasn't doing in that other scenario. Or it could have just been bugged out, but I'll just assume it was something I did. Right. A little bit of brake. The emergency brake. There we go. So now I do need to hop out, I think. And this is the wrong side. Let's try it on this side. Because on that side I'll be up on the platform. Right. Okay. 22. Uncoupled vehicles. Is that the passenger cars? Passenger coaches? Yep. Okay, stop at location. Let's get rid of that. Climb the ladder. Window down. So we want to go forward. Left throttle on. Bad train driver. A little bit of horn. Brakes off. Here we go. Whoa. That is, I mean, I guess there's a limitation in the game, or they have it set up that way for a specific reason. But the thing where, as you pass, as the camera passes obstacles, we might be able to do it. The signal may not. It's pretty thin, but as the camera passes obstacles, it jumps in front of them. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. It's not a big deal, but it can be a little. You know what I'm saying? Just a little. Let's see if we get this stopped in time. Perfect. Climb down and reset the track. Okay, so the brake is set. Throttle is off this time. Hop out. Which one is it? No. Sit in the driver's seat, so we want our reverser to reverse. Brakes off. We'll back it up. There we go. It's a pretty significant grade in this yard, and I don't know if that's for coupling, decoupling. I don't know if that's a hump, they would call it in a U.S. yard. I don't know if that's like a hump or if it's just something, whatever, just a feature of the yard. Oh, you know what, we've been operating without these for a little bit more realism. So we get that turned off. And what did we say, half an hour? You know, the thing that's crazy about these yard activities is I do like this game. I do like this sim quite a bit. And one of my things is, you know, you get in a train and then you're just driving, you know, you're just driving the train and nothing happens. But things like these yard projects, these yard activities or scenarios, there's a lot to do. You know, you're doing a variety of things and you're hopping in and out and forward, going back, hooking up cars. So there is a lot to do. It's a lot more interesting, and that's a good thing. But then part of me is like, but it's not really, you know, it's not really like driving a train. It's more like just doing stuff in the yard. I want to be driving the train, but then when I can drive the train, I'm like, oh, this is kind of boring. So that's me, man. It's always something. It's always something. Right. Try not to run this thing into the bumper, which is going to be very tight. In fact, I'm curious if it gives it to us here. Yeah, it does, because that's 8 yards, man. We'd have to be right in there. Uncouple the locomotive here, then head back and collect the first portion of coaches. Can do that. I want to make sure we got some brake on. Yeah, we do. So, up. And that's the platform side. So we want to go over here. No, that's the platform side. Manual coupling. Click to uncouple. Right. So we're going to pull back out and stop at the location again. Sit back to forward. Right. Brakes off. And pull forward. Keep meaning to have a sip of my tea, and then I keep forgetting. Better. Right. I'm trying to remember where these coaches came from. I think we're doing this just in the opposite order of one of the earlier scenarios where we put them together. And I'm trying to remember where they were in that scenario. See if I can get it in one stop this time. Yeah, that's where that hill starts. The hump. Perfect, we got it. Okay, climb down. Switch the track. You got it. So hop out here. Turn that on. And I think this will work out just right because it's getting dark also. Like in the game, it's getting a little darker. So we'll go half an hour or so. Man, I keep walking past that door. I'm not sure why I continue to think it's at the other end of the locomotive. But it ain't. Close the door. Sit in the driver's seat. Turn that off. Talk to this gangster. Proceed at restricted speed. Fantastic. So we're going to put it in reverse. A little bit of horn. Brakes off. And a little throttle. I'll try to stay up above this one so it doesn't bounce the camera. See if that helps. I think I just bounced off it. Came in a little too hot. Right. Couple to formation. Maybe I can do it from here. I cannot. It's got to be on the track side, not the platform side. Mm-hmm. That'll help. We are coupled. Uncoupled vehicles. Aha. So are these coaches different? I feel like there's two different kinds, but I can't tell for sure. Alright, so we're coming right in here. Alright, let's turn that back off. Frame rate, where are you going? I've already turned that off. Already sort of committed to my new system. And is there? I know there is. Let's have a seat, and we're going to find the interior light. I know there is an interior light. Is it up here? Marker lights, interior lights. There it is. Oh, that's awfully cozy. Right. So we're going to pull forward now. So reverser to forward, brakes off, moment. Reverser to forward, brakes off. And those take a lot longer to release when we need to charge up the system for those other carriages. All right. Here we go. Can't win. I was trying to get away from that box on the other side. Oh. Golly, we're speeding. There we go. That's better. Oh, that's right. My new system. I got my new system built, and it's in the shopping cart. I just need to decide when I want to pull the trigger on that, but it is going to be a 4K system. So hopefully I can just keep throwing RAM at the problem. Keep throwing speed at the problem. Until the videos are perfect and we have no problems. And I know OBS is supposed to be like just the simplest, easiest system to use, and everybody uses it and everybody has good luck with it. But I didn't, unfortunately. And I don't know why we're... Well, it gave it to us anyway. Okay. Climb down. I don't know where those lag spikes come from. I think I'm starting to like track it down. I think I'm beginning to figure out where it may be coming from. And the thing is, when I was in my apartment, I had I have the monitor in my laptop, and then I had a giant monitor that I run HDMI to, and that's my monitor, and everything's super cool, and I love it. And I can also split my display. So I could have, even though they're different sizes, I could have two displays. And I could have OBS on one and then whatever sim I'm simming on the other. And that was cool. That worked. But the problem was, even though they were on different screens, it would sometimes see the app, and I had to run sims in windowed mode, which I didn't necessarily mind doing, but with them being different resolutions and everything, it was a little bit tricky, but it worked. And where I am now with just a single monitor, just the monitor in the laptop. Stop at location. Okay, we're gonna back this thing up and then we're gonna call it, because that's about half an hour anyway. But now where I have just a single monitor, everything has to be, well, I play full screen, but then I have to like tab to into shadow play to be able to turn it on. And I think that may be what's causing the problem. I think because I'm full screen, right, you see what I'm saying? That it does something with Windows or something with shadow play or something somehow when I come out of full screen mode. Like if I were in windowed mode, I could just go up to my top bar and pick another tab. But yeah, this is just yeah, we'll call it because it's happening every few minutes now, and I don't get it. It'll go for hours and hours and hours without happening, and then it will just start happening over and over. So yeah, I think the system is going to be, well, I wish the system could be OBS because that's what everybody uses and it works great for them, and I just wasn't able to get it working. And I think I've told you this before. I feel like it had too many options. So we're going to back up. So we need to go into reverse. We'll toot on the horn. We're going to go out here, release the brakes. And this will take a minute with that. It's not a super long consist, but it's 3 coaches we need to pump air into. So get those going, and we'll back her up. So yeah, I felt this is just for me. I know people use OBS and it works great and everybody loves it. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with OBS. I'm just saying for me, there were too many options. Simple mode didn't work. I was having a lot of frame drops, and when you get into, I don't know why this is happening. Oh, it's so frustrating because it's great render, and like right now we're at 40 FPS, everything's fine, and then it just drops. I don't get it. Right, simple mode, I was having frame drops, and people are like, "Oh, you just got to go into advanced mode." In advanced mode, there are so many options, and of course, all of them affect everything else. So you can't just change one thing, and it's like, I'm trying to study it, I'm trying to read up on it, but man, it is above my pay grade. All the rendering stuff you get into, and encoding, and oh, it's just a handful. And I'm confident that at some point I could figure it out, but in the meantime, here's shadow play. It captures right off the card. Good result, but I feel like I need to get everything into windowed mode to stop having those frame drops. I'm going to try it. Oh God. Yeah, this is like once per minute now. Okay, so we're going to back this train up and then we'll call it an episode, and I apologize for the spikes. But yeah, that seems to be, I think, the problem that caused it. Because what happened was I was in another sim, and I've said this in other videos, so if I'm repeating myself, I apologize. But in another sim, I was not recording. I just bumped my Windows key, and it tabbed me out of full screen mode. And for the rest of the time that I had that sim up and running, it was spiking, and it had not done that before when I had been playing it. Now, this is tricky because it's saying 99 yards, but as with the locomotive, that's not 99 yards. how close I can get this thing without bumping the bumper. I think that's close enough. See if it gives it to us. Right, folks, I'm going to finish off camera. Thank you so much for stopping back to check out the Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Train Sim World, and this is the West Somerset Railway DLC, and this is the final scenario. We'll see you next time. Take care now.